Okay. All right, this is going to be part two, hello guys, of kind of getting started for your online courses. And I wanted to go over and review a few things associated with APA formatting, if you're not familiar with it, as well as where I can go to get additional resources. So this is going to be getting started part two. Okay. Well, not this. But as we move to moving into this resources tab here at the top, which I said I was going to go review, kind of where I left you off on part one, I told you, things that you need to look for. This is a great section to review with your writing assignments, and when I tell you that it needs to be in APA formatting, or that you need to make sure that you're using scholarly or academic resources or references for your work, especially since a lot of you will be doing course projects, so you'll have to be doing research. So one of the first things I wanted to go over is the APA Citation Guide, and you'll find that again in the middle of the library resources under the Resources tab. All you need to really do is click on the APA Citation Guide, and what will happen is the APA Citation Guide comes up for you. Over here on, I guess it would be the left-hand side, the table of contents, if you go to APA formatting, and then again here on the right, you'll see an APA template and one for Word. You'll want to click on that. Once that comes up, you should be able to either, open it and save it, or save it to a file. I recommend saving it on your desktop only because I think it's easier to find. And this is what will come up. This is going to be your APA template. So when I tell you you need to download the APA template, if you're not familiar with it, this is where I'm asking you to go. Once you've downloaded this template, depending on how many classes you're taking, you may want to actually make a title page for each of your courses. You can save it in a folder on your desktop, or save it on your desktop and make it a new one each assignment. I just think it's easier to do one for each course. You'll change each week, of course, your title of your paper, maybe what assignment it is, or if it's a course project, the title of your course project. Of course, your name would be changed. And then come down to author's note, of course, the date would be changed, as well as who it's to. So for my classes, it would be Dr. Trout and whichever course you're in. Obviously, you'd want to change it accordingly to the instructor or the professor, as well as what course it is that you're taking. Now, in this template, when you scroll down, it'll start to give you kind of information on what you need to do for the introduction, the body, and the conclusion of your writing assignment. A good rule of thumb, of course, every writing assignment, we give you a structure of a bullet points on what we are asking you to either answer questions or make sure these are included. A good rule of thumb is each one of those should be a paragraph. So if you've got 3 to 4 bullet points, those should be about 3 to 4 paragraphs, including an introduction and a conclusion. And this will give you here some information on what you're needing to make sure you remember, so you can read through this. But it's already formatted for you, so you can erase all of this, add your title of your paper here again. And then below is your references page. So here is where we'll go into both where to find resources, as well as the Noodle Bib, which I will go back to do. But again, save this, very easy. Manipulate the document for each assignment. Follow the same structure, introduction, body, conclusion, and it'll just make it a lot easier for you to do your assignments. Now, going back to the actual resources tab, I had mentioned the references. One of the things that you can do as you're pulling research is looking at the Noodle Bib guide. This is really good. As you find your resources, you can click on that. It'll take you through, it'll walk you through, put the author information, publishing, the dates, where you got the title of the article, and it basically will put it in that reference section for you, or you can copy and paste it into that reference section. Some people like Noodle Bib, others don't. I'm not really fond of Noodle Bib. But I will show you some other cool things that you can do. Under this search of e-resources, and what I encourage you to do when going through and looking for scholarly, peer-reviewed academic articles for your research, you'll click on that. You'll need to put in, of course, your email address. Make sure it's your S-mail. That kind of denotes that you're a student, and your password. And once you log in, it'll take you to the e-resources page. And you can see this database is chock full, and each one of these is a database that you can go through and use for any of your research. For businesses, I tend to like the ProQuest and EBSCO, and some of you may have heard that from me before. I tend to like EBSCO, ProQuest, and it'll give you off to the side the information on kind of like the genre of those particular databases. But you can look for general education, you can look for, there's business, early childhood, again, general education, health sciences. But we'll go into business just for an example. Again, of course, you have to put your information in again, and then it's going to take you to this database. This database is what every college student in the United States will use. I used EBSCO and ProQuest for all of my research and my graduate studies. But it'll walk you through here. You want to put any information if you're looking for something specific. If you wanted to make sure that you have the full text, that should always be checked. So you want to make sure you do want the full article so you can review it. Another thing that you want to check is the scholarly peer reviewed. You want to make sure that that is academic, that you're not getting like book reviews and things of that nature. You still may get a few, but not as many. If you wanted to do published dates, you can. Typically in research, it should be within the last 5 years. Anything from 5 years beyond is usually outdated, but you can always just sift through the information. To go up to the top, I'm just going to type in leadership. It'll automatically do a search. And up comes all of these articles. All of these are from journals. This is from Quality Management Journal, Academic and Management Learning and Education. This is the Journal of Business Ethics. So you're going to get a lot of journal, well, for this one, business journal articles here. And you can see I have over 25,000 articles to review. Clicking on the first one just to kind of see what's there. This will give you a breakdown of what's in this article. Also, usually there's an abstract, so you can kind of read what the article may be about. Is it something that I need for my research, for my topic? But now I want the full article. So you can usually see over here, you'll see PDF full text. So if you click on that, it'll download it. You can save it to your computer. You can print it. You can also access these over here off to the side on the right where you see these toolbar. You can see that you can print it. You can add it to a folder if you were searching like at a home computer. If you were if you were doing things at work, maybe you shouldn't be, you could email it to yourself. You could save it to a disk or thumbnail drive. So you have a bunch of different ways to make sure you get that particular article for your research. But what I wanted to show you was this really cool thing here called Cite. I said everything has to be in APA format, and as soon as I click that button, up comes the APA citation for this article. It's already done for you. All you would need to do then is highlight it, and you would then right-click and copy it, and then I can drop it right into my Word document. So, piece of cake. You usually can only do it from here. So, depending on how you want to, manipulate everything, depending on how many references that you're going to do, you might want to email it to yourself in another Word document. Sometimes I would just open another Word document and drop them all in, and then sift through articles later. Again, it's something structurally you'll have to work out, but that's a neat little trick that you can use for that. So that'll give you some kind of a quicker way, I think, to do it, as opposed to using Noodlebib if you choose to, or choose not to. There's a bunch of other things in here. There's a database to ask questions. You can, again, search for books, and again, Noodlebib Guide is here. Grammarly is a nice tool to use. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but it does help with grammar, and it does check your work. You do need to sign in again with your S-mail account. But when you sign in, you basically can upload your document and hit citation or the check button, and it'll check your work for you and give you suggestions for grammar, spelling as well, and you can check for plagiarism. Now keep in mind that it's a tool, it's done by a computer, so it's not going to be completely perfect, so some of it you may need to still check on your own. One of the other things I wanted to show is here the Writing Lab. You can also use these online tutoring services. The Writing Lab, there's actually a live person that you would send your work to. But again, there's a lot more of a time delay versus Grammarly to check your work. That can be done in a matter of 30 seconds to a minute. The Writing Lab, you send it to somebody, that may take them 48 hours to get it back to you. So if you choose to use the Writing Lab, you need to make sure that you adhere to deadlines and things that are due. I will be putting, as soon as I get it from the library, a kind of I guess a calendar that'll have some seminars and things that you can attend on certain dates. Those are live seminars where people will walk you through APA citations, in-text citations, how to use Grammarly, just a bunch of different tools that you can use. And as soon as I get that, I'll be able to put that up for you. So that is what I wanted to review for you for this time. So I hope everybody is off to a good start watching all these videos I'm putting up. And I do hope everybody had a safe and happy holiday weekend, and everybody's geared